Alrighty, welcome back if you're coming back. So today we are going to do the video on environmental hazards and property impacts. We got 6 lessons on this and a unit exam of 10 questions. We're going to try and get this all within one video under 30 minutes. Let's see how we do. Alright, so some of the interior environmental hazards that we need to look at as a realtor, as a future realtor, or radon. Okay, let's look at radon. It's commonly in soil and well water, and it can enter the home through chimney cracks. So if this person has a chimney crack, that could be floor joists, could enter through water, soil tracked in from outside, floor drains, sump pumps, cracks in the concrete, porous water. How can you find out the level of radon in your home? You have to test for it. You have to hire a professional or get a test kit, and you would want your buyer to buy this if possible. I have no idea how much these things cost, but if any of these, if you got a sump pump in the basement, cracks in the concrete, you got chimney cracks, you definitely would suggest that they get this. It's odorless, colorless, radioactive gas, and so it's a gas, and we don't want to be messing around with that kind of stuff. Okay, we want to get that out of the house. Dealing with radon, action that can be taken, install a system. I don't know if that would work or not. Replace any materials, action that can be taken, I guess. Okay, it's saying that doesn't help. Okay, this can be taken. This can be taken, apparently. It doesn't say that you can do that, but it says you can install a system to vent and filter radon out of the home. Okay, that's good to know. It didn't tell us on that little picture. Okay, let's look at asbestos. This is the next thing that you need to look out for. Asbestos is insulation around the hot water pipes, paints, vinyl floor. Look how old this home is. Oh my God. And I'm sure this is a real picture too. It looks like something from the 50s. This looks like a teardown house here. Okay, next. Asbestos is airborne particles that deteriorate and can cause a lot of problems with your health and your breathing. And it's like on a lot of older properties because they didn't have anything with asbestos when they were building those homes. So you can kind of tell. This looks like something from the 1950s. I can just tell by the tiles, by the furniture here, that this is like 1940s, 1950s. So rocks and soil, heating systems. I don't know which ones these are. All these materials, it is possible but not certain that you can find asbestos in all this stuff. A lot of lawsuits have been brought about because of that. How can you determine if there's asbestos in the home? I would say hire somebody to check for asbestos. Leave it to the professionals. Don't be buying a $60 kit. This is your health here. You don't want to be buying a home that's got mold growth in it or asbestos in it, either or. You want to hire professionals for all these things. Okay, mold is when there's moisture and a lack of circulation. And you can definitely, what's this one? Ceiling mold. Oh my gosh, look at them pictures. Holy crap. It's pretty gross. Anything that's black like this, window mold, that means they got some serious water pipes. Let's click on one of these videos and see what happens here. Oh, it's just going in. Okay, that's all. All right. I was getting afraid because if they play music, then I gotta turn it off. Bath mold. All right, that's pretty neat. I love my little pictures. Okay, what two environmental conditions are uh, prime for mold growth? So if you're doing a walkthrough and looking at homes and you see this mold problem, I mean, they can, like, if they got the money to redo the house, hey, you should definitely get a discount, right? All right, we're going to look at some external things now. We know the usual suspects, pest infestations, right? This is going to be, first we're going to look at environmental underground storage tanks. I have never seen that on a home, but that's interesting. Okay, this is contain fuels or chemicals. They may contain heating oils. Okay, well that makes sense. Storage tanks. Groundwater contamination. If you're close to a landfill, waste disposal sites, discolored soil. All right, let's go. Underground storage tank is not likely to be found on the property. And which two locations are underground storage likely to be found? I would say commercial, new residential developments, older homes to store heating oil. Okay. Basement pipe leading nowhere. Are there clues there's an underground oil tank on the property? Underground oil tank. Vents sticking out of the ground. Soft spots in the ground. Soft spots on the ground are not an indication of underground storage tanks. Okay. Now, why do you need to know this? Because you need to be educated. Knowledge is power. Okay, you're not a home inspector, and you're not going to know all of this, but it is good to know some of it because you can point it out to your buyer. And the more knowledgeable you are, the more your buyer is going to be impressed with you and trust your judgment, The presence of an underground storage tank is important because they could leak and they could have contaminated stuff in them that cause problems and could cause problems to your water, which could be a health and safety issue. So all of these things are important. What are disposable sites? Which of these clues are a property may have been used as a waste disposal? Puddles of water, I don't know about that. Mounds, maybe. Let's see, I don't know. Soft spots are a clue. Soft spots are a clue? Okay, maybe I need to go back and look at this picture again. Okay, let's go back and see. Did we former waste site disposals? Let's look at this. I love the little graphics because it breaks up all this verbiage. All right, soft spots, sinkholes may indicate decomposing waste. So if you see anything like this on the property. All right, mounds or expanding soil, evidence of gas buildup. You see how this is going up? Discolored soil. Discolored soil can be evidence of toxic chemicals, or it could just be other things going on. Landfills, gases contain carbon dioxide, methane, organic compounds, hazardous air pollutants, odorous compounds that adversely affect public health and the environment. A landfill is capped when it's well full. Capping involves covering it with soil, then planting grass for aesthetics. Any natural gas caused by waste decomposition are expelled through ventilation pipes, and test wells are installed and monitored for groundwater contamination. Sometimes old landfills are turned into a park or a golf course, which is interesting to know, by the way. Who would have ever thunk that, right? Okay, so that's interesting to know. I didn't know that. All right, let's see what we have next. Pest infections, the usual suspects. Pretty common. All right, pest infection signs. All right, signs of termites are mud tubes or holes bored into the wood, tiny wings or fecal pellets, holes bored into the wood or beetles, carpenter ants, holes bored into the wood, prevention and treatment, annual inspections, remove moisture. Okay. Which three are the most common pests you'll want to keep at bay? I would say 3. Which these 3? Maybe these 3. Maybe the beetle, probably. These 3 here. I'm going to keep under control. Examine the homes for signs of infestation. Call up professional, hire professional, perform annual inspections. Pest inspection reports usually happen before you close on a house. Disclosing the presence of lead. Single family home. I don't think so. This one, yes. I think it's 1978 is the lead. Okay. 1913 is required. Did I hit non-required? Okay. Well, I did that by accident. I know. This is not required. This is required. This is required. It's before 1978 is the magic number. Anything before 1978. If it's commercial, they don't care either, apparently. All right, what's this? All right, who in this family may be vulnerable to lead exposure? All of them, right? I mean, I don't know. Take a look at the language at the top of the disclosure. Dad, mom, who is not expecting? Who is not expecting? Or child? Lead exposure. All right, well, just the child. Okay. The child is the only one that's susceptible. Children, babies, and pregnant women. Okay. All right. Where is the lead? Lead is commonly found in dust, which I had no clue. Okay. I need to go dust the house now. Drinking water. Yeah, we know that. Soil. All right, so soil, drinking water, paint, and dust. All right, I did not know about the dust. Now I need to go. Now I feel like I need to go dust the house. All right, dust, paint, pipe, soil, drinking water. Okay, everything but flooring material. All right, disclosing the presence of lead. Location issues. All right, properties have serious location issues. Let's look at a handout for more on flood insurance. Some places are considered a flood insurance. Will need it if they're in a special flood zone. I mean, you'll know this because of the mortgage company. and you'll be required to get it. Property is located in a flood zone. What good is a room with a view if the room is full of water? Which of these following may be an issue? Could be an issue. Could be, and could be. Almost one of these would not be an issue. Property is insurable and not located in any special areas. That's not an issue. Okay. Conservation area, historic building, and borders a wetland. Okay, more location items. Tax abatements. A buyer will want to be aware of any zoning issues, boundary changes. Taxes are a key part of information and determine affordability of ownership. Danny likes the reference the web link you have in your reference. Open a new tab. Okay, this is a website they put up here. Investopedia. Tax abatement programs. Reduce or eliminate the amount of property tax owners pay on new construction. And this is good to know, right? Attract buyers to locations with lower demand. City neighborhoods that are being revitalized. So it could be in a bad area. So it could be where I am right now. I'm living in not a great area. But the advantages are I can stockpile my savings account because I am living way below my means. Okay, lower taxes. Potentially significant increase in taxes after the abatement ends. Unclear picture of what the actual tax costs will be like. Area where an abatement is in place and may not be in a prime location. Okay. So everything's a drawback but the first one. Okay. What matters most? So which of these items would be the most important to it? They have a 4-year-old son starting school and, they want to attend a certain school. Whether school boundaries will be changing. So these are the types of things you'll need to be looking at as a realtor. That's why it's good to know your buyers. What's important to your buyers? Being in a certain school zone is important. They want to be in a nice school zone so their child can have a good education. So you want to find these things out on your interview so that you know where to direct them. All right, stigmatized and other impacted properties. All right. All right, let's look at this for a second. The presence of ghosts. Oh yeah, another pictures. All right, impacted property. Death, homicide, suicide. Yeah, these things are stigmatized, and we have one of those. We have a couple of those in my neighborhood. Registered sex offenders nearby. Yeah, that would definitely be a problem, especially if you got little kids. All right, the prior owner has HIV status. It could be, you cannot disclose this, by the way, so there's no way of knowing that. Because it violates fair housing. In most states, probably in all states. It's probably a federal offense, by the way. We did a whole thing on this. I don't remember HIV being in it, but I'm sure that is a federal offense you cannot disclose people's, well, more than likely they're not going to tell you that anyway, because they don't have to disclose that. Presence of ghosts. All right, the sellers must disclose whether the property, I don't know about ghosts, I don't know. But suicide, homicide, yes, disclosing, the sellers must disclose registered scheduled. I don't know about the ghost thing. Let's check it out. This is false. There is no requirement to disclose sex offenders. Okay. They do not have to disclose suicides or homicides, really. In my state, I do believe we have to do that. Okay, the presence of ghosts, I wasn't sure about that. Nope. True, false. They don't really have to disclose that much, do they? All right, the importance of due diligence. This is truth in both seller disclosure and K via emptor states. Including a home inspection contingency is an important tool. All right, we're going to try and get through the unit exam once. We'll see. 10 questions. I prefer to have the unit exam along with the lessons on one video. It just makes more sense to you at watching it, when everything's coming together and you already got it fresh in your mind. You don't have to go searching for another video for the unit exam. All right. Emma is interested in purchasing a property with a big backyard. Which of the following is a zoning issue that would encourage her to research? The kind of fence that is required for daycare playgrounds. Whether or not current regulations permit home-based businesses. Yes, that would be a zoning question. And why are we getting zoning questions on here? I don't remember anything being on zoning. We do have videos on zoning, but this was not one of them. Okay, what must sellers provide for buyers' homes built prior to 1978? Remember I said the lead. Okay, you're showing a house when you notice piles. Let's go back and look at this. I think you need written proof that the home is lead-free. Disclosure form. Okay. All right. I think this one. This one's iffy. Okay, you're showing a home when you notice piles of what looks like sawdust outside the basement windows. This might be evidence of what? Oh God, carpenter ants? I don't know if it's powder post beetles. I can't remember which one it is. Okay, I don't know if it's powder post beetles or carpenter ants. Total guess there. Okay. They always wanted to renovate an old home. They found a Victorian and they're considering making an offer. Their agent warns them that this property as it stands may be uninsurable. Which of the following might make it uninsurable? Crumbling driveway? No. Probably the 100-year-old wiring. They don't care about a crumbling driveway. Okay, which of the following would a home inspector note as a defect in the report due to its link to lung cancer? Asbestos tiles in a basement. Which could discolor soil soft spots or mounds? Underground storage tank. It could be a former waste disposal, but I'm going to say the storage tanks. All right. The licensee cannot disclose that a previous owner had HIV. All right. Jane and Tilly are artists who are looking for a home with a backyard that's big enough for them to build a studio. Which of the following properties might they want to stay away from? They want to build a studio. They don't want to go on wetlands. They're interested in buying a home in a new homeowner opportunity. The 100-year-old row home was renovated and it looks pretty new on the inside. The property taxes decreased by more than $5,000 last year. What's likely reason for this? Probably a tax abatement. Do you remember us talking about that? While walking around the exterior of the royal home she's inspecting, Janita noticed a metal vent pipe sticking out of the ground 25 feet from the house, and she documents it because it may be sign of what? I want to say radon. All right, let's make a wish. We're getting pretty close to 30 minutes. We pass. That's all that matters. That's all that matters on your test, too, since you passed. Okay? But we do want to go look and see what we got wrong. Just in life, you know, we always like to know what we did wrong so we don't keep making the same stupid mistakes. All right, I'm going to go through these a little slow in case you want to take a picture for study purposes. All right, this one I was going back and forth with, so I'm glad I got that right. And this was another one I wasn't sure of. So carpenter answer was correct. I made a couple good guesses on this. Okay, this one I was going back and forth with too. So this one was a bad. I couldn't decide whether it was former waste or underground. Okay, you cannot disclose any HIV or AIDS. All right, and this one, you don't want to go in a wetland area if you are trying to rebuild. Okay, this one was underground storage tank. Wow, okay. All right, pipe sticking out as a sign of underground storage tank. Okay. The next one may be specific to Maryland. If it is, I'll put it in the title. But it's property disclosures, and it might be for everybody. I don't know. But you might want to check it out anyway and see if you can pull anything out of it to use. So if you are coming back, that is what we're going to be doing next. Unit 4, Maryland Property Disclosures. Thanks, everybody, for staying the whole time if you did.